Now, you used to be Christian and now you're a Muslim.
Yeah.
What? Explain that to me. Why did you switch to being a Muslim?
For me, it was mainly the monotheism aspect of it. So with Islam, you pray to God alone, and that's just always what I did growing up. Like whenever I imagined praying, I grew up Catholic, so I was taught to like pray to Saint Anthony when you lose something, the different saints. And for me, whenever I put my hands together and I looked up in the sky, I only ever prayed to God alone. So that was the main aspect of it. And then really the structure of it for me, I could see a lot of the wisdom in praying 5 times a day. You wake up, you clean yourself, 5:30 a.m. You wake up with the sun, you go to sleep with the sun. You look at any of these health scholars and influencers nowadays, what do they say? Wake up with the sun, go to bed with the sun, stay away from screens, all this stuff. So it was really the simplicity of it for me and just how it resonated with my heart and made sense. That was the main thing.
So it simplified your life? Made you more conscious, aware?
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely made me more God conscious overall. In all aspects, yeah. I mean, what I find so fascinating is everyone woke up to who controls the media, who controls the entertainment industry, who controls the politicians, how our brains have been wired in ways that we didn't realize were programmed by them until now. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so now let's take a step back. We've analyzed all of these things. Have we analyzed faith? And I'm not saying this to be disrespectful or anything, but is the objective truth that our Creator sent to humanity to pray to a Jewish man as God? This is what I question. I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way or anything like that, but this is what I asked Nick because I find it so fascinating. Over a decade now, he's come to the conclusion they've infiltrated everything. Have they infiltrated faith?
Yeah.
I think it's a fair question to ask. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, bro, none of this
You're
stuff
not gonna be able
matters.
to go eat dinner next week in restaurants, bro.
What are you gonna do?
Gonna
But at the end
Well,
of the
they
day,
infiltrated. They walk around and talk about Judeo-Christian.
but
like,
I mean,
come
they've
on.
even infiltrated some Bibles. The Schofield Bible, for example, they were. I'm
I mean,
assuming you know
Candace
about
brought
this.
that to light.
So then
Tucker.
it's where did the infiltration start? And that's what I recommend people to
Yo,
look into.
can I get out of the shop when you talk? I'm trying to get home tonight. I ain't trying to get kirked.
But anyways, I asked Nick Fuentes $25 super chat.
Yeah, that's crazy. We're supposed to leave the next day. I'm trying to sleep.
Yes, I do. Jesus Christ.
That's funny.
Anonymous just
Become kind of goofy, I ain't gonna lie.
Nick, do you believe the creator of the universe is a Jew?
Yeah.
He goes, yep.
Yep.
I don't know, man. And he calls me a race traitor. He
don't
calls
think
me a
any-
race traitor. Like this is our whole group hates me online. They can't stand my
Really?
guts. Yeah, they hate me.
Great, son.
Well, Sneeko and Myron are Muslims, right?
I'm tight with Sneeko. I don't know Myron that well, but yeah, Sneeko's. I don't know Myron. I don't know about.
Can't really speak for any of
We
them.
can't speak for anyone. God knows what's in his heart. So I don't know if he's
Me and
praying
him can think we're
privately.
Muslim or we're not.
I know publicly.
I
he
could be a
doesn't-
hypocrite.
Yeah, God doesn't have a form. He sent himself as Jesus Christ, and he was born from the Virgin Mary, which makes him a Jew. But God is not human.
So we would say that
Yeah.
the creator is God. So if you do not have attributes, if you're not the creator, you're not God. This is what we would say. So we would say God is all-knowing. We would say God is all-seeing. God is all-hearing. God is independent. Nothing can be dependent. God can't be dependent on anything. You would agree with that, right? This is the creator. Jesus was dependent. He had to eat food every day. He was born
He had to
to
be
a woman.
suckled.
He had to be, he had to be raised as a baby. He was relying on gravity. He couldn't go to 3 nights without sleep. He had to get a good night's rest. There's all these different aspects.
to
We
make
look at
cocky.
Jesus, where we just say he's not the almighty creator, but that doesn't mean we don't love him. That's the only difference. So it's nothing to insult you guys, and I hope it doesn't come off that way.
It does.
No.
Yeah, it does. Not to him, the audience. They're going to leave comments, you're this, you're that. They're going to come after us, bro. Thanks.
Oh, to the white boomers, oh man,
You're going to get us kirked.
they're having strokes right now.
What are you gonna do, man?
There used
Like,
to
at
be,
the end of the
the
day,
word used to be murked. The new word is kirked.
Yeah.
When you speak your opinion, you get taken out for it.
But to me,
Kirked.
it's very simple, bro. God has certain definitions: all-knowing, all-seeing, all-hearing. If something doesn't fit one of those definitions, it therefore lacks to be God. And I don't believe that you can see God in the flesh. Even the Bible says it.
Exodus chapter 3, when Moses asked God, because Moses spoke directly to God through the burning bush. I want to see you, he tells God. God said, for no one can see the face of God and live.
they're trying to invade us. The Muslims, they're gonna get big, they're gonna come together, and then they're gonna take over the world and bring Sharia law, as he said.
Right.
Bro,
I hope I don't have
50.
I don't have a seizure law right now.
50 Arab nations in the Middle East right now. Our people, bro, are being blown up. Kids shot in the face. And what are these Arab nations doing about it?
Nothing.
Nothing. I have to look at my phone every day. Millions of people can't sleep at night seeing what's going on there. Kids being sniped in the face, and our country supporting it.
Right.
And now we think that when Muslims become the majority in America, everyone's gonna have to wear a burqa. Are you out of your mind?
1%.
The worst thing is happening right now in front of our eyes, and the whole country, the whole world is against it, and we're doing nothing about it.
It brings up what Malcolm X said. The
And
media is the
Sudan.
most powerful organization in
But
the
bro,
world.
think about this. What else could you get millions and millions of people into a 1 square mile radius where it's
It's the
completely
largest
peaceful?
gathering on earth
You go to a sports
to worship
game,
God.
but you go to a sports game. These people are on the same team and they're fighting each other in the stands. You ever seen the videos, guys pulling them like this,
Right, yeah.
going at it, bro?
Right.
There was nothing, and it's packed. When I tell you packed, bro, it's like New Year's Eve, Times Square packed. Everywhere you go, it takes an hour to walk a mile. It's insane.
You know what's crazy? I had family go to Israel.
Yeah.
He said they treat him like a dog. He said when he got around the Muslims, everybody got along.
As the officer Tatum said, they's only spit on me once.
I can't believe he said that.
He said it like a flex.
In my opinion, that was God making
He
his
said
tongue
it like
slip.
a flex.
That's my opinion. That was God fruiting slip.
I was like, wow, why
He's like, it
was
was just a kid too. Like,
just a kid.
Where do they get that from?
kids learn from their parents, bro. How to be racist, how to everything, bro. It comes from the parents.
What percentage of Muslims do you even think are Arab? Take a wild guess.
Take a guess. Great question.
I don't know.
Great question.
Ask that question again.
Welcome to
What percentage of Muslims do you believe are Arab?
out of the 2 billion people. Percentage. What do you think?
From a propagandized black fella living in white America, I would say like 90%.
Less than 20%.
They're not even the majority.
18% of Muslims are Arabs.
Really?
Look it up. Pull it up.
Pull
And if
it up.
Pull it up.
Pull it up. Pull it up.
Have we lied?
No.
Look at this is
And
what
if
we're
we made
saying.
a mistake, may God forgive us, bro, because we believe in our faith. Go ahead, cook it, because I'm about to have a brain hemorrhage. Go ahead.
You need a cigarette.
No, it's not cigarette. I literally feel like I'm having a mini stroke or something. I'm going to hospital after this. I'm going to hospital after this one.
You want a water? You want to take a break?
No, I want to get through this and not have a
You're
stroke.
probably a little hot because of your jacket.
No, I'm not hot at all, actually.
Yeah.
No, I mean, literally, I feel
You're
like
probably stimulated,
Maybe.
getting a lot of shit off your chest, and yeah.
I've done hundreds of podcasts. This is
Look
the
at
first
bro.
time I'm like, but the travel's
The
killing me.
way they paint,
Yeah, it does.
the way they paint this whole faith. Should we wait for him to switch the scenes again?
Yeah.
Lebanon,
Oh,
yalla,
I thought he
yalla.
was
While
Sorry.
he's pulling up,
I
go
thought,
ahead.
I thought he grabbed it. The way they paint this faith as it's only for Arabs. This is why. Did you see any of the?
That would have been a smarter strategy, though, for them to
Don't come
dehumanize.
on,
They were better off just picking on the Arabs and not try to alienate the whole 2 billion Muslims, because now they got white boys coming out and saying, hey, hang on a second, hang on.
Around 18 to 20.
That's not what we believe.
Arab? Wow.
It depends how many wives they got, bro.
But could
18 to
you
22.
imagine that you thought 90? That's how good the prophet. And it worked on everyone. It worked on me too. Even the first 5 months of me being Muslim, I didn't even pray to Allah. I prayed to God. I would just say God in my head. But now, as my heart softened and I've listened to the Quran a lot, and I've prayed so much, I love saying the word Allah. But I don't like saying it on podcasts like this because I know how it sounds to people. I get it.
Alien, foreign.
It rubs them the wrong way because
Be-
they've
that
been biased
Free
against that.
programming.
Exactly.
How's
but
it not gonna
it
rub
just
them?
means God. It just means the creator. Even the book, it starts in Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful.
Yeah, I think they think most Christians, like Jesus Christ, only spoke English or something.
But
like you said earlier.
The reason we speak, the reason we can talk in Arabic is for preservation of the faith. So when I pray, I understand what I'm saying in English, but I pray in Arabic so that I can go to China, I can go to Indonesia, I can go to Spain, not speak the same
It's the
language
same,
as
dude.
anyone, but I can greet them the same way, Salamu alaikum, and we can pray the same words. So
It's
when
really
it's time,
crazy, man.
it's like you feel like an animal, like a bird almost, where it's like you're all flocking together in a Disney movie.
I've walked
You
into
can't
all black mosques, you know, Elizabeth, Newark, Jersey, you know, bro, I feel like an outsider at all.
you guys like believe in the Antichrist, right? Like
Yes.
in the end of times, there's going to be a false Messiah that comes. He claims to be the Messiah. He demands people's worships. We believe in the same thing. Do you know that we also believe Jesus is returning in the end of times? Were you guys familiar with that?
No.
See, this is crazy.
I can't even believe
These are
how-
basic facts. of
This
the-
propaganda. This
No,
faith has
this
so
is,
much propaganda.
I
It's
think we have
ridiculous.
the typical Christian perspective.
Wow.
Okay.
That's why you're still the boogeyman in this country, because Christians are ignorant to the Muslim faith.
It's not even just that they're ignorant. It's that there's propaganda against it. So if it's like
ignorant propaganda,
And they won't even look.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
But they
about
won't even look, bro. Like, read the book, bro.
but this,
Just read it.
This
Right,
is this
right,
is
right, right,
this
right.
is extremely
it.
fascinating.
Read the fucking book.
The Quran calls Jesus the Masih. That's the word in Arabic. It means the Messiah, from the Greek word Christos, the chosen one. So we believe
anointed.
Jesus, the anointed one. It's the same
Same
thing. It's a
thing.
translation. So we believe he is the chosen one, the Messiah, chosen by God. The only difference at the end of the day is we don't believe that Jesus himself is the creator of the universe. We believe that the creator sent him as a mold for humanity. So
Okay.
we don't believe that Jesus actually finished his mission yet. So you know how you guys agree in the ascension that he rose up to heaven? The only difference that we would say is that he didn't die before that. The Quran says, and we can get into this afterwards, but we say that he ascended to heaven too, and that he's going to come back to finish his purpose. So in the end of times, the Messiah, the Antichrist in Islam is called the Dajjal. Okay?
The Arabic
So
word for it.
there's 3 Abrahamic faiths. 2 of them, Islam and Christianity, Catholicism too, obviously, believes that Jesus is the Messiah. The third one, who Jesus came for, rejects him as the Messiah, and they believe a Messiah is coming in the end of time.
And they tried to hang him up like a piñata.
That term anti-Semite, what does that mean?
To me, it doesn't make any sense, especially in the context of what's going on in the Middle East. Arabs are Semitic people.
Right.
Jesus Christ was a Semite. My first video to go viral was about the word Allah and how it's literally the same word that Jesus Christ used in the Bible. He spoke Aramaic. I broke the internet with that, brother. It was on the Danny Jones podcast.
In the West Bank in Gaza, there's a lot of Semitic people being killed.
So if you support one side, now you're anti-Semitic. They're both Semitic.
Right.
They're literally both Semitic.
And even the way they use the term is ridiculous. If you're criticizing a nation, you're anti-Semitic. What other correlation? Where is that with anything else? The Quran isn't even necessarily a book. It's like an oral transmission. So at the time of the Prophet, the way it was revealed, it was one verse at a time. So it would be, this isn't the exact order, but it'd be like chapter 4, verse 71, chapter 72, verse 2. And it would be within context of what he's going through at the time. So like he said, the first 11 years of the Quran coming down, they were being persecuted in Mecca until they were given instructions on what to do next. Does that make
They
sense?
had the right to defend themselves.
Exactly. So by the time the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, died, there was thousands of people that had the Quran fully memorized. And so you could burn literally every single one and it wouldn't go away. And I can't think of any other book in the entire world where you
And
can
I'm
burn
also,
them all.
like him. I'm my
But-
family's from Europe. I've witnessed it every Ramadan. He's witnessed it now.
Yeah, every Ramadan from
We
the
watch it. It's coming up next month.
the first day to the last, they read through the whole Quran. The guy at the front, nothing in front of him. His eyes are closed as he's reading it. If he makes even the smallest mistake, someone in the back, brother,
That's how many people know it by
he
heart.
fixes
Wow.
That they'll correct mid-transmission. So while he's reciting,
it. Yeah.
one error, one syllable, bro. I swear to God. I swear to God, I challenge you to
You
go
can
to any-
pronounce it wrong.
I
It's
dare
crazy.
you to go to the mosque you guys have here in Vegas, and they'll let you watch, bro.
Yeah.
Watch the guy, bro. No iPad in front of him, nothing. The whole book, bro. The whole book.
Yeah, I mean, I think the common misconception with saying it's extremism is it's insinuating that you're following it to a T. Like you're following it 100%. You're supposed to kill the Christians. You're supposed to kill the Jews. It doesn't say that anywhere in the Quran. They're actually called the people of the book. The Quran says, "Speak softly to the Christian man, for amongst them are men with reason." Like we're brothers. Like
They're
whole
the closest to you in faith.
the closest to you in faith.
So speak softly to them, for amongst them are monks and clergy and men of knowledge. So the bottom line is, even feminism, brother. Our country didn't get here from just religion. Even feminism to the extreme is why I think we have the problems we have in society.
Definitely
Okay?
women.
So is it safe to say that if every group has extremists, there's only one group that we can't call out? There's only one faith that has none miraculously who went through more trauma than any of us probably in the last 75 years since World War II? They don't have any extremists though, right?
Yeah, right. I see.
It's just common sense.
Well, like I was gonna say this too. Even sports teams. I'm from Boston. If a Yankees fan comes, there's a fist fight over Red Sox. over baseball. Like,
Yeah. What exactly is Sharia law?
Sonny,
you want me to take this one?
take this one, bro. Tired of talking about it.
Sharia law is just basically like Islamic law. So praying 5 times a day is practicing Sharia law. Giving to charity is practicing Sharia law. Smiling, and is Sharia law. So it's just being Islamic. Like being a Muslim is following Sharia law, essentially.
How about chopping off Christians' heads and stuff like
We'll
that?
get to that. Okay, can I jump in and just put a little point on what he said?
Yeah.
It's the same thing if you're a Jew or a Christian. You're supposed to live by the laws of the Bible. What's morally acceptable and not. And it's not black and white.
Right.
What a lot of people don't know is that Western democracy is actually built on Sharia law. Trial by jury comes from Islam. I don't know if you guys know this.
I didn't know that.
So the problem is we got 20-second TikTok memories in this country and the world. And these are very complicated subjects that most people have no knowledge of. Most people don't know anything about their own faith, let alone other faiths. And that's why we're out here to speak. I felt compelled. This is something I never wanted to talk about in my life. I started doing interviews 7 years ago. My podcast was to inspire people to get back up after something. I would interview like John A. Light. I had Carol Baskin on from Tiger King, right? And it was about their lives, what they've been through. But then once everything shut down in 2019 and the globalists went all out, and then I'm seeing all the propaganda coming on, like, I'm going to speak, man. I was on the Danny Jones podcast, and we broke the internet. We went crazy. We're talking about the differences in faiths and all that stuff. But the bottom line is Sharia law is, to a Muslim, what kosher law and the rules of the Torah are to the Jew, as the same laws would be to a Christian. But of course, within the religion of Islam, if you live in a foreign nation, you must abide by those rules.
That's part of Sharia law.
The Prophet Muhammad said, peace be upon him, when you live in a foreign land, you must obey their laws. And if you can't obey their laws, and you feel like it's a threat to you being able to practice your faith, then you're required to migrate or perform what we call hijr. You're not there to rebel. So that's number one. But again, it would be the same thing. Then there's different sects in Islam, right? Some might say it's this. It's open to interpretation.
Right.
But as far as chopping off the heads of Christians, if you find that in the Quran, I'll get baptized today. If you find, no, I'm serious. I swear to God, we'll get a pool and I'll get baptized. If you find in the Quran where Christians are infidels or Jews are infidels, I'll get baptized. Any church, any denomination you guys pick, whatever you want. Jehovah's Witness, baptism, I'll start dancing.
Quran 5:16. And on Judgment Day, God will ask Jesus, son of Mary, did you ever ask the people to worship you and your mother as gods beside God? He will answer, glory be to you. How could I ever say what I had no right to say? If I had said such a thing, you would have certainly known it. You know what is hidden within me, meaning within my heart, but I do not know what is within you. Indeed, you alone are the knower of all unseen. So that's what we believe Jesus will
And
say.
correlated to the Bible, that he didn't know the hour.
And then, yeah, that's what I was going to say, bro.
So
Like,
he's saying here, I wouldn't have known, like, from the Quranic perspective. Go ahead, cook it, because I'm getting a heart attack. Go ahead.
I can tell.
Cook.
No.
Cook.
I'm
If we
sure
die,
right
we
now.
die in an honest podcast.
I didn't need to go back to that point, but thank you.
But you
for
should.
mentioning
But I think it goes good with it. I think it goes really well with
Look,
that
bro,
point.
we want to end this eventually. I was gonna end it with saying,
That was a good ending, too. He just messed it all up.
I was gonna end it with saying, question your beliefs, everything. Why do I believe what I believe? Where did I get it from? Is there a political agenda someone has for getting me to believe this thing?
Yeah.
Even the devil. Does the devil want me to believe a certain thing? And this is nothing against like Christians. This is maybe anyone that's, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
What other faiths? Does a political party or a group want me to believe this thing? And finally, pray to God alone. That's all our message is. Pray to the creator of the universe alone. That's it.
Yeah, it's so true, because I start questioning everything, then I start to see the truth.
Yeah.
Can't be blind by your faith.
John said, seek and you shall find. I believe that. Look, the truth doesn't need anyone to teach you or push it up. You know what needs that? Lies do. Propaganda needs that.